This is why AI isn't the answer for your health and fitness problems. Look, ChatGPT is everyone's favorite research tool. We use it for everything, me included. You wanna know the capital city of somewhere? Ask ChatGPT. You wanna know what the population of Iceland is? Ask ChatGPT. It's gonna tell you in seconds. It's incredible. And it is a tool that we can leverage to help us with our health and fitness journey, but it's not the answer. And I'm gonna explain why. After all said and done, what ChatGPT gives you and what AI gives you is speed of information. Now, information is something we've had access to for years. Ever since the internet, ever since social media, Instagram, whatever has been a thing, we've had access to information. Lose fat, build muscle. You can find out how to create a training program. You can find out. So if that was the gap, you would have already had the answer back when YouTube was created. In the past few years with ChatGPT, we can now type into it like I am here, create me a 6-week muscle building program, and it'll do it. You can ask it for 1,000 recipes that'll help you lose fat, and it'll spit it out for you. So information is there. Information is more abundant than ever. However, we have more of an issue than ever with health and fitness. As you walk around day to day, you see more and more people who are out of shape. The obesity statistics in the UK and the USA are staggering, and they're getting worse and worse and worse every year. Even people who are interested in fitness, even people who are trying to improve themselves, trying to be active, people who probably watch this channel, even a lot of those people are struggling to still make progress, even though the information's there. So what's missing? What's missing here is implementation of that information in the correct way. Not only in the correct way, but also consistently. In my experience working now with hundreds and hundreds of people, the thing that holds people back from succeeding or progressing is not whether they have the right information or whether they have the right training program or whatever it is. That's a little bit of it. It's more so their level of consistency and their ability to do the boring stuff consistently enough. The most successful athletes in any sport are the athletes that can do the shit, boring, mundane stuff day in, day out, week in, week out, just adding little bits every single week in terms of progressions to get them closer and closer to where they need to be. The reason why that simple approach isn't followed by everyone is because it's boring. It's difficult to stick to. Because it's boring and difficult to stick to, what people often do is they'll get shiny object syndrome, where they'll try something new because this thing wasn't returning them an instant result. Maybe they're a little bit bored of doing 5x5 back squats. They'll find something else to do. Not giving their body the opportunity to adapt and improve under that stimulus. Further to that point, if we're thinking about losing fat and actually getting your body into a position where you're more comfortable with it, there's more information than ever on that single topic. More and more reels, more and more YouTube videos created every single day telling you what to do. Now, some of them have conflicting narratives, which means it's difficult to know who to trust, who to go to. So you need a trusted individual to work with who can distill all of this information down to your level. And when I say your level, I mean what you require in that moment, at that moment in time. Because that's gonna be very different to you after 6 months, after 12 months, after 18 months. You're gonna need different things. You're gonna need different approaches. You're gonna need different information at that stage. So you need someone to give you that information at the relevant point. Typically, if we don't have that, we just have this wealth of information that we're trying to swim through on social media and on YouTube, and we get paralysis by analysis. We can scroll for hours and hours and hours looking at fat loss content, looking at muscle building content, all telling you slightly different things. That doesn't leave you in an empowered position to then make a change and make a decision over how your week to week should look in terms of a training program, a nutrition plan, how to stay consistent, all these kinds of things, because there's so many conflicting narratives. And putting all that aside, even if that wasn't the case and we had just only a regulated amount of information coming out of one source that was all correct and we knew what to do, which is almost what sort of ChatGPT offers really these days. We can go to it and ask it these specific questions. If you prompt it correctly, it will give you the right things. We still don't have the result we want. And why is that? Well, the reason is, again, implementation of that information. If we have the knowledge over what we should be doing, then why haven't we made the change? Why aren't we where we want to be? Well, there's only one reason. It's implementation. It's the fact that you're not doing what it is you know you need to do. And the only reason for that is lack of consistency and lack of accountability. I can't think of anything that someone is good at or successful in that doesn't require consistency. You think about being good at work, you think about business, you think about fitness, you think about running, you think about whatever it is. Everyone who's at the upper echelons with those things people value, it's always as a result of consistent effort. Always. There's no caveat to that. And so AI, artificial intelligence, or ChatGPT isn't going to help you be consistent because it's there when you want it. You have to go to it. It's not going to hold you to account. With a little bit of a shameless plug, coaching services, much like the one we offer, do plug that gap. It's not to say that everybody needs a coach, and if you haven't got a coach, you're never going to make any progress. If you're making progress on your own and you're moving closer and closer and closer to where you need to be, and you're utilizing the wealth of information we do have and doing it to a good level, then fine, have at it. But most people aren't, in my experience. Most people are stuck. Most people are just spinning their wheels. Or if they're not, they're just not doing anything at all, which is also a problem. So you need someone to give you a kick up the arse. You need someone to keep you motivated, to keep you accountable, to keep you consistent on a process. We are, as a society, very, very slow to invest in ourselves. We will much sooner invest in holidays, in meals out, in designer handbags, in designer shirts, whatever it is. We'll much sooner do that than actually invest in ourselves. Because investing in yourself isn't just a exchange. It's a, I'm gonna have to pay a certain amount and then I'm gonna have to do a certain amount of work to get to a certain point. So it's delayed gratification that you're buying there. If you're buying a car or buying a designer t-shirt, you get that t-shirt straight away. So there's no work on your end. And so that's why that's so attractive. But if you boil these things down in terms of why people want a car, why people want a nicer t-shirt, why people have work done to their face, or whatever it may be, these things that people spend money on extremely readily these days. If you boil all of that down, it all comes down to wanting to be more confident as they walk around. It's a status symbol. There is nothing that's going to give you more confidence or more status than a healthy, fit, good-looking body. That's the truth. There's no arguing with that. Feel free to argue in the comments. I'll absolutely die on this hill. The number one thing that's going to give you confidence, the number one thing that's going to give you status is a fit and healthy body. Why? Because you can't buy it. You have to put the effort in. Yes, you can buy coaching. Yes, you can use money to facilitate the process, but you can't outright just go into a shop and buy it and then have a body coming out of it. You have to have done some level of work to put yourself into a position where you're fit, healthy, and strong and looking the part. So it has an inherent value. Obviously, you can get in shape by yourself. However, what coaching is there for is someone's going to have made years and years and years of mistakes or invested thousands and thousands of pounds into education. What you're doing when you buy a coaching program is you're effectively boiling all of that knowledge base, all of those mistakes, all of those education qualifications, and by extension, all of the team's qualifications, mistakes, experience, you're boiling it all down. So it might have taken me, for example, 10, 12, 15 years to accrue the knowledge I now have as to how to stay in shape year round, how to get in shape, how to take someone from point A to point B. That might have taken me 12 years, 15 years. I might be able to give you that same level of information in 12 weeks, in 6 months, in 9 months. So you're taking 10, 12 years of knowledge and just paying a little bit and condensing all that down into a really bite-sized chunk of time. And therefore, you can progress far, far faster. So AI isn't the thing that you need to help you out when you're thinking about moving towards a health and fitness aim. Because the number one gap that we see in people who don't make progress versus people who do is consistency. And AI can't give you that. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, if what I spoke about in the second half, the coaching side of things resonates to you and you do want to find out more, all you need to do is click the link below this video. It'll take you through a form and you can book in a call with myself. We can have a chat about the process. Other than that, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one.